Hey guys, today it's a second part of my videos stream series called Shopping Manager, where I'm working on a real world project for a local shop. Basically, this shop needed a solution where kind of a website where they can track their shopping list for their multiple stores. So that's what I'm working on this series. In the last video, I runs first time. I will link that. You can find the playlist link in the description, so you can watch the first video there. So in today's stream, I will be working on a login and logout run. So I'll just create a new file. Okay, and just create a function. Okay, let me just rename. Okay, I've already created the file in the past. Just create. Okay, I will use this one. And I will just export this function at the end. So the reason I'm writing this function endpoint controller in different files, so that the reason is we will be making query to database to get the user. We will be unhashing the password and we will match that. So if I will be writing all this code in one file, it will get too long and it will be hard to maintain it. So that's why I usually like to keep it in different file. So we'll just import that file here in the auth file. If you have any question about this code or anything, feel free to drop a message in live chat. And we can just use this login controller here. I am using Postman to make different queries against this server. The reason behind using a different application is you can do a GET request easily from browsers, but you can't do it in the post. You can't do it post request without any form or anything. So right now we are working on a backend. So at this time, this Postman will be really useful, so that like we can make all kind of different requests and we can test our code. So first of all, let me just start this server. Okay, and just npm run dev. Oh, it crashed. Okay, what's the error? Oh, okay. We still need to work on this. I think we are having issue in the script where it is trying to create duplicate admin account. So let's see why. I think it's because this code is running before this code executes. So let me just cover this, wrap this whole code in one function. Hey Anand, welcome to the stream. So you are my first viewer in my in my YouTube streams. So you are the first viewer, so really welcome. I am still learning this live stream skill, so I will be making so many mistakes. we will just make this function async. Let's just grab this one here. We don't need to wrap this function in async anymore, as our parent function createAdmin is async, so we can just write it like this. And we can also remove this whole code and write it like this. Okay, let me just so at this point we have made a request to database and we have fetched that if admin account exists or not, and we basically can move this code in the function. So Anand is saying that what do you think about Dino? I think Dino is great. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't used it yet. I haven't tried it. But as far as the features I have seen, it's really good. I think it still needs some time to get it production ready, I guess. So yeah, in the future I may go with Dino. Dino. I think it's really cool technology. I would love to see production projects being done in Dino. Okay, and this should not crash our application. Yeah, it works now. So let's just start working on the login route. So at this point we are expecting that login route has username and password. That's all we are storing for users. If you will see the user model, you can see that we are just storing username and password. So that's all we will do for log. Okay, so we will first need to verify that the input that user is sending to our server is good. It means it doesn't contains any wrong characters or something. So we just need to sanitize those that data. I prefer to use Joy. It's from Happy Organization. So let me just open that. It's a really cool library. It is a bit complicated at first, but if you get used to it, it's really good. Oh, I didn't knew that. Okay. Okay, so it used to be under Happy Organization. I think they have made some changes. I think this is what we should be installing. Yep. Just install it. Okay, and the documentation. So the Joey works as a object schema validator. So you just specify an object with which kind of validation you want, and it will just it's really simple. If you have used Mongoose in the past, so it's really similar to that, and that is one of the reasons that I like to use it, so that my code is really consistent with between different libraries. So we'll just import Joey and We'll just copy this much. I just move that, and that should be all, I guess. This and this, that should be all. Yeah. So I will want to trim it, and minimum length is minimum length is 3 and 30, I guess. That's what I am validating in database. Yeah, that's 3 and 15, and that is the regex that I am using for validating the username. So I will just use that one in the where did I put that? Okay, right here. It will be very similar like the password one, just pattern. I think that's all they need, I guess. Let me just look at in the pattern method. Okay, it should be here, I guess. Yeah. Pattern can be either regular expression or Joey schema that will be tested against. If the pattern is a regular expression, for it to match the entire key name, it must begin with okay. It does begin with that. Okay, I'll just modify it something like this, I guess. 3 and 30, 3 or 15, or 3 and 15. Yeah, so maximum characters allowed in is 15. Also change it right there. And that is required. For password, I will use very similar, same thing, except yeah, I think I am also expecting to have minimum 6 characters for password. Six, and max will be 30, I guess. I think I should not add space between the okay, and that is also required. So if you will look at the example, you can just do something like this, the schema.validate, and you can just pass the object and it will run the test that if it matches with your rules or not. So it's just a time break, so let's just have a quick stretch. Just move your body around. I have been sitting for 10 hours today, so yeah, I have been using this application a lot. So let's just validate our data. Schema dot validate, and we can just pass something like this as well. For now I will do this so that we can just test it that our validation works or not. We will make a post request. Let's go to the body, raw data, and JSON. We will get an error. Let me show you why. So username, let's go with the admin, I guess. I am using the random characters right now, but in the production this password will be changed. And let me just make a small change. Result, I guess, and await it. We'll make this function async and console the result. So let's just try username, only username. It should fail because password is required field. And what's the output? Yeah, okay, I imported the wrong one. I think they should update the document, I guess. Yeah, they are mentioning at happy, so yeah, they should change it. Okay, let me just change it back to just Joey, and let's make request again, and let's undefine. Why? So let me just add another console and you might get an idea. See, that's undefined. The reason behind that is, I think if I'm right, yeah, I forgot to add this line, f.use. So this is the function that comes with Express. Basically it parses the body in it parses the JSON data from the request. So right now we are sending a request in JSON format and the data is in JSON. So this line will convert all that data invalid JSON or invalid in a valid JSON format or JavaScript object in this whole in Express application. So now this line should print out this username. So let's make a request again, and yeah, you can say that it's the value is here and there is some things. Okay, oh sorry, this is the body and this is the object that we get when we validate it against our Joey validation schema. So you can see that the value is this and error is that password is required, so it is working. Let's try putting some random characters and it should fail again. Yeah, username with the value fails to require pattern. I think we can just pass a name of pattern here. Username pattern, I guess, for now. Okay, and let's make request again. Yeah, if you will notice that it says that fails to match the username pattern. Okay, it mentioned pattern, so let me just remove it. It's pattern. Okay, the reason behind that is it will be way easier in the front end. So for example, I can just use this whole message in the front end that this thing is invalid, right? So that's my main reason to do that. I okay, I think it also returns promise, so I think I can just do, yeah, I can just do then. So I can remove this. So we can do something like this. So basically this promise will fail if the input is wrong. So we can catch it in catch function, and there will be error. I can change it to validation error, and we can just do I think I will do something like next new error. So let me explain this code. This function is sending error to the next function, and when it will send this error, I have created this middleware called error handler. It will trigger this one, and let me just show you that middleware. Okay, yeah. So basically, it says that it will either set the status code if the response, if I have set the response status code to if I haven't set the response status code to manually, so it will by default set it to 500. Yes, Anand. Yeah, I'm currently working on the REST API, and soon I will, like, once I complete this, I will be working on a front end with the Vue.js. The await is not in for which one? Is it for the GUI validation, I guess? Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, we can just do this because we are using this promise, right? Yeah. Thanks for that. So let me just, yeah, so it will just it will set this status code. If I haven't set it manually, it will set it to by default 500, and it will just respond it accordingly. So if it's in the production, it won't return the stack, otherwise it will show me the stack. So that is a really good trick that I learned from CJ. No worries. Okay, so let me just, for here we just response it with the data, I guess. Just message. Okay. Oh, it should be, yeah. Just go with admin. Oh. Okay, and it should respond with why. Oh, yeah, it should be a comma. Or it should be like this. Let's make a request. That's a big error. Schema or validate that then is not a function. Wait a minute, why? Catch block or by rejecting a promise which was not handled with catch. I did catch it with the error. Okay, let me see. So why is this erroring out? Let me look at the documentation. Oh, it's no, it shouldn't be that one. Okay, so let's look at the API and yeah, I think we will need to try a catch. I think I will just go with the thing is right here they aren't asking for. I think we'll just go with this and let's see what it returns. And if the result is valid, then I will return this. Otherwise I will, for now, I just console log the error. Just the result, I guess. Oh yeah, let me just do that. And this, I guess, and if I catch any error, I have done this in the past, no sure. Let me take a look in my old code and figure out what I did wrong. Okay. So that's my personal GitHub account. I have used this in the I did used it in the, it was this one, expense tracker and server validators. Oh, it would, okay. Oh, I was at the right place. Yeah, so it is awaiting there, and if it has the error object, then I am ready. Okay, yeah, I think, yep. So let's try this. It should be await. Comment this out. And return. Otherwise I will just let's see if that works. Value is not defined. Oh. It should be request.body. That was really silly. Okay. Yeah. It works. So, oh, wait a minute. I think that's the body, I guess. I am confused because I think I wrote another console log in some file. So let me just write it properly. So basically 422 means it's a invalid input. So I'm not sure why I'm getting, oh, it's a dot. It's a, I am making so many mistakes. I shouldn't be streaming after 10 hours of shift. Okay. Yeah, it works. It works finally. Okay. At this point, I will move this code into different file for now, because we are still writing a database query, and we will be also unhashing this password from database and everything. So let's just do this. I will just create it right here. And it will be a middleware. Oh, it's request, response, and next. Yeah. Okay, so if I will move that code, we will also need to import Joey. And this code. So at this point, let me see. Okay, it won't work. Response.status 422, and just do something like this, result.error. So it will create a new error, and it will have a message which we get from Joey, and we will return at this point. Otherwise, we will just respond with Oh, otherwise we will just do a next so that it will continue the request to login controller. And in this code for now I will just respond with data is valid. Okay, and we will just need to modify right there. We will just import that validator. We will just add it before we add our login controller. Oh, I will also need to make this function async. Let's make this request again. Yeah, it works finally. And if we add a wrong invalid value, it should have returned our error to us. Pattern unhandled rejection. Catch. Okay, yeah. Do we need try and catch, I guess? Oh, it should be validate. Yeah. So that works. So if the input is invalid, we are getting this validation error. Otherwise, it sends the request to the controller. Yeah, that's cool. So let's start working on this controller. We'll first need to import my user model here. We will call it DB user. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, it should be 6:30 in India. You guys woke up too early, I guess. Actually, I am in Canada right now, so that's why it's 8 p.m. I thought you guys were here. Sorry. Okay, so it should be under user and user model. Welcome, Debopan. How do you pronounce it? It's Debopam? Debopam? I guess. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Okay, so let's. Oh. Hi Shivani, welcome. Okay. So at this point, we will make a query to the database that if that user exists in database or not. So first of all, let me just grab username from. You know what? Let me do it this way so that I can use it in other functions as well. Request.body. To string and frame it, and I will do the same for password. It should be request story username. Oh, okay. I will try to remember that. Okay, and now we can make a query to the database. We just change it. I think this will be much simpler to understand. Find where username is username. Yeah, so I can just write it. I can write it either like this way or this way. It will stay mean the same. And execute this statement, and at this point we should have make a query to the database, and if that user exists, we should have it in the instance of db user. So first of all, if the db user does not exist, then I will set the status to 404, and I will create a new error, I guess. Yeah, I am using item 2. Anhad, I have used which one? What's that called? Let me just remind it. Item. It was. Yeah, it was Hyper that I used it on Windows. It was really cool. It has some designs. You can change it. You can change the colors of your text, as well as it has some cool designs for the Windows for the window as well. So, and I think it's Electron application, and it's free, so you can grab that. Let me just grab the link for you. Don't they have a link? Yeah, here is the one. It's in production application, so I won't be writing that your username is wrong or your password is wrong. The reason is that sometime when you're working the production, you have to be more careful about your error messages. You can just tell that your username is right but your password is wrong. The thing is, if someone is trying to hack your account, so at that point he knows that your username is right, he just needs to figure out the password. Because of that reason, I usually go with like username or password is invalid. Return. Just return it at this point. Otherwise, at this point we will need to compare request password to db hashed password. Let's take a quick break. So whenever so this admin account, it's created by this create admin script, and it is hashing the password before it saves to the database. Because of that reason, we will need to compare it with this bcrypt library, that if the password that user has sent is same password that we have saved in the database, the hashed one. So for that we will use bcrypt compare, I guess. I will create a function here. I have already created this file, a library file, where I am putting all the code related to the bcrypt. Let's do check. Okay, do that. We will pass the password value to this. Just return, and we can just grab compare sync. I think it should be compare one. Yeah, that one returns the promise. Okay, so compare. Yeah, so we just need to pass the data first and the encrypted password. Okay, so we will also need to grab hashed password, and just use hash password right there, and we will just return this this promise. And I will just import this in controller. Should be under lib folder. And create dot compare password. We will just send password that we will just grab the password from request user and from the db user, and this db user password will be hashed one. So because of that I passed it as second argument, and as this function returns promise, we can write a code like this, and at this point we can respond with for now that password is correct. Otherwise, if we get any error, we will just pass it to the error handler middleware. So let's try if that works. Currently we have a wrong password in this request, so it should fail. And another error. Okay. Username is not defined. For which one? Line 10. Oh, it should be, I might need to write it like this. Yep, it works. So yeah, data and hash arguments. Okay, why data and hash I did pass it. Crypt library, password and hash password, which I am passing it in right there. It's line 24. Let me just Hashed password is undefined. That's an empty error. Oh, it should be okay, and it should work now. Why? See, yeah, so I have a password right there, and it still says that the hashed password is undefined. Oh, it's an error. I think okay, yeah, it should be find one. Okay, let me just figure out the windows. Yeah, okay. So yeah, password is correct. Wait a minute. Did I use the password as password? Let me just double check. Oh, it's the wrong password. It shouldn't send me that password is correct. Let me take a look at Bcrypt library. Oh, okay. Result should be true or false. Okay, it works that way. Okay, yeah. So we need to change a logic a bit. We'll get a result. So if result is not correct, we just look at the result first, and how does it provide us the error, and return at this point. Okay, yeah, that's just false. Okay, so we will just respond with the same message, but we will need to change the code, status code. I think 400 will be fine, I guess, as we will be counting it as a bad request. And I think our code is nearly completed for at least for Bcrypt related to the code. Let's make a request, and yeah, password is invalid. Let's put the right password. Yeah, and password is correct, so that is working. Oh, it's almost an hour, and yeah, I am live for an hour. I guess I won't be able to work on logout route in this stream. I will try to complete this one. So at this point we have figured out that user is valid one, so we will need to send him the JSON web token. I am using JWT for authentication in this REST API. Sure, Anna, thanks for stopping by. Okay, and search for JSON. Oh, it should be JSON web token. Let's first install it. And let's look at the documentation. It will need a payload, secured or private key, and options. For options, I will pass one value saying that expires in. So what's my plan is, I will first, like, I am going to expire the token in 2 days, I guess. For now, I can keep it longer, but I think I will just go with 2 days for now. I will change it later, but at least for 2 days. So that's the only option I need. And let's look at the sign up function. Let's create an environment variable for that. JWT secret key, super secret key. Okay, and I will also add this in the example file. That it should be this one. Let me just close these files. Okay, I will call another lib file right here for maintaining all the JWT related code. So let's just make it JWT lib.js. We will import JSON web token here, and we will create a function called sign token, which will take a user object, and let's export this. I think I won't import the whole JWT library. I will just import the sign function and return, and it also returns promise, I guess. Okay. I thought this sign function was a promise. Sign. Nah, it's not. Let me just take a look in my old code and how did I did in the past. A generate token is function called from utils. Okay, should be under token. And okay, so I at this point I am not catching any errors, so that is a really bad code. Let me just look at here. So we have this callback function where we can find the token as well. So I just grab that. For a payload, we will pass, let me create a payload. So we will grab a username from user. We don't have anything else, I guess. Created that, I guess. So we can just do date.now, and that's all for this, I guess. We don't have any other values that we can pass in the payload. For the private key, process.environment dot the name of the variable, let's also create a function for settings, not function, a variable to store the settings for JWT. JWT settings. I would like to freeze this object. Okay. Algorithm is that and expires in 2 days. So basically the token JWT creates will expire in 2 days. So if someone tries to make a request with that token after 2 days, it won't work. We will send an error, invalid authentication error in that case. Here we can return, so if error, then we will throw an error, I guess. Let me wrap this sign function in a promise. It will be much easier when we will import this in the login controller. For that, we will promise. So if it has an error, then we will just reject it with that error value. For safe side, we will just, I don't think so we need a return here. Do I? Let me just put there for safe side. Otherwise, we will resolve it with token. And we can just return this promise. Let's pass this JWT options. Let's import that file here. Okay, and once we get that password is right, we will do this compare. Sign token. We will pass DB user there. Here's the payload. And if this promise resolves, which means we have a token which we can send to the user. We'll just set the status code to 200 and response.json will be, let's pass the username, token, and I usually like to add bearer from my backend. It's for an ease, I guess, so that I can easily store in the local storage. I don't need to add bearer in the front end. The way I create front end, it doesn't make sense to keep, like, it doesn't really make sense to add this bearer in the front end. So that is the reason I am doing it this way. Let's add the token there, and we will pass the message that you are logged in successfully. And return. At this point, if this function fails for some reason, hey Anand, welcome back. If we get any error, did I use error before? I am using it back. Okay, JWT error. Then we will just pass the error to the next function. I started programming in 2018, I guess, or maybe late 2017. I started with C language first, then I went with Java, but later I got interested in web development, so I am here right now. I have started using this frameworks and everything for around more than a year now, I guess. I don't have that much of an experience like other YouTubers, but I am trying my best and I am learning new things every day. So let's see if it signs us the token. It should be. Okay. No start line. Line 36. I am not sure what does it mean by also. The thing is, the error code is 500 and it is responding with 200, so let me just figure out that as well. It should be in the errors middleware. Yeah, I am not setting the response code. Status to that code. Oh, that's really cool. I will be learning Python in my next term. It's my last term from my college program, and I am hoping that I can build some cool projects with that. And that is shocking that you are just 13 and you are doing all this. That's really good. So let's make a request. And it is responding with 500 error. Yep, that's good. Let me just figure out what is this. Routines get name, no start line. it is getting error at 36, and the line 36 is this one, JWT error, which means we are getting error from signed token function. In third class, that is really shocking. It's really good. So basically, it looks like you have more experience in Python than me in JavaScript. JWT secret key, JWT settings. I am not sure what does it mean by start line. Okay. Oh, I see. So I think the reason is it's because of the algorithm. Let me just use the default one, and it shouldn't be giving me any errors. Yes, it is returning us a token. So uh, I think this RS256 requires a secret key, something like this one, and because of that reason it was failing on that secret key. I haven't made any more Discord boards yet, but I am planning to create a Discord server soon, and that's where I will be building a different boards. I'm just waiting for a good amount of audience, and after that I will start working on my Discord, which I will be doing live. Okay, so that works. So yeah, basically we have this login route. So if you enter your correct credentials, it should return with the token. If you have the wrong password, it still returns with the token. Oh, I didn't remove it. Yeah, then it says that username or password is invalid. So yeah, basically our login route is done now, which took around 1 hour and 16 minutes. That's a lot. I have created, I think, 3 or 4 projects with front end and back end, but I stopped programming for, I think, 4 months when my working from home job started. So because of, like, it had a bit weird schedule sometimes, or I used to have like a long shift because of that reason I avoided programming, and I am back now. So I'm still I lost my that grip on Express and Vue, so I take a bit long to complete projects. I think I will end this for here. I will be streaming this weekend, I guess, where I will be working on logout route, and I am also working on this code quotas videos. One will be sure, like, it should be out in by tomorrow or by Friday, I guess. So stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do not forget that. And if you like this stream, give it a like, or if you have any suggestion or anything, you just feel free to drop a comment in the comment box. So I think I will be ending the stream here. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, guys. Electron and Monaco text editor, maybe a live stream will be a great. Electron and Monaco text editor. Okay, let me take a. What's the? I am not familiar with. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically you are saying that we can create a VS Code clone, I guess. That's what you are suggesting, Anhat? If I am guessing it right. Okay, sure. I have seen a lot of Electron videos, and I have tested it in like a small project, kind of Hello World projects. So I was planning to work with Electron. So yeah, it's a really good idea. Let me just add that in my suggestion list. Okay, yeah, I will just add your suggestion. VS Code clone. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Yeah, I am planning to complete this project as soon as possible. I don't have any deadlines for this local show project, but I am planning to complete it as soon as possible. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much for tuning in all. See you soon.